Hi, my name is Shelley Overton, and I'm an astrologer at AstroEnergy astrology show on Blog Talk Radio. You can hear me every week on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. This is the current show for this week, and thank you very much for stopping by. If you would like a reading, you can get me at astrologerangel.com, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.
Hello, welcome to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Hi, and welcome to the AstroEnergy show for February 25th, 2015. My name is Shelley Overton, and I'm excited to be here. This is the bright spot in my day today because it is a little bit yuck outside. It's overcast here in Orlando, and let me see. Let's just see how warm it is. I think it was only supposed to get up to, I know I shouldn't say only, but like 72. But I've been inside all day. I have been flitting around doing this and doing that. I'm still unpacking, believe it or not. The upper half of the townhome I live in is full of boxes, and now all the stuff is getting out of the boxes, and I've just set it in strategic places, so I need to put all that away and really get rid of a lot of it because it just seems more like clutter now that I'm in a new place and less like things I need to have in my life. So have you been doing that kind of thing? This is a really great year for that, especially Pluto in Capricorn is just king of getting rid of clutter. And now with Aries having a couple, well, let's see, Uranus is there and Venus is there and Mars is there. So we've got a lot of impetus to get it going and get it done. Let's see here, it's 70 degrees, and it says it was supposed to be 75, but no can do because we had a lot of cloud cover, and it was kind of cool this morning, but you know what, we like that because we don't get a lot of cool weather in Orlando, and it's so nice when we do. I'm telling you, I'm definitely a northern girl and need a little bit more cool in my life. So I have decided that I'm just going to eat it up every time we get the cool weather, and it's not really that cool, I guess, if you're up north. But anyway, so that being said, today, let's see what we've got going on today. Did I mention who I was? Anyway, I'm Shelley Overton, for those of you who haven't heard me before, and I live in Orlando, Florida. So this week, I'm trying to think, this is what I like to do is think back on the issues that have been coming up in my world, because I know a lot of times I pay attention to that, and I know other people who listen to this show have been experiencing the same thing. And I think probably the biggest thing right now for me has been feeling like the Pisces energy is just kind of sitting on me, which means Sun is in Pisces at 6 degrees, and Neptune is at 7 degrees Pisces. So we've gotten rid of Venus and Mars out of the sign, and let's see, Mercury is at 10 Aquarius, so thankfully he is not there yet. He is going direct now. But Neptune and Sun conjunct in Pisces, so for the next couple days until the Sun passes Neptune, it's going to be kind of that strong emotional connection to other people, like you can't break free of it. And I'm going to tell you today, I was in such a funk earlier in the day, and I got to a point where I was just like, you know what, I know those of you who have listened for a long time know that I talk about angels. I've done angel therapy with Doreen Virtue. I took one of her courses, so I've been trained in talking to angels and everything. So I don't talk about it as much on this show. I did more so on Spiritual Spa when I was on the Spiritual Spa show. But today I just said, you know what, I need help releasing some of this energy because it was just sitting on me. And I asked Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron to take off the energy that is just parked over me. And it was like this pall just weighing me down. And that Pisces energy can do that. You can feel so sensitive to issues and connected into that deep emotional muck, really. Sometimes that's what it feels like for me, because I have Neptune right on my moon natally in my first house, which means that my ego identity is so closely connected to that heaviness sometimes. But I was just like, I don't want to feel this anymore. And sure enough, as soon as I asked Archangel Michael to take it off, I felt really a lot better. I don't know. It was like, oh, this feels so much better. And interestingly, I ended up going upstairs and doing a lot of different things. I got some boxes put away. I've got some art supplies put over in my studio. I painted on my art. I've been writing my astrology book. I've been writing a children's book. So I've been very productive today. So I don't know if you've been feeling that Mars and Aries energy, Mars and Aries conjunct Venus in Aries. It's really helped focus me a lot in getting more things done, and having Uranus in Aries probably doesn't hurt either, because it's much more clear with Mars in the same sign, and Mars is also able to really direct those energies. So I was writing today about Aquarius, and so recently like an hour ago, I was writing my book. It's going to be kind of a basic intuitive astrology handbook. So anyway, Aquarius and Uranus, the ruler, are very much closely linked, and in Aries, it's just this energy of being autonomous. We don't want to be told what to do. So that energy is really strong right now. And the other side of it is I've been really feeling Pluto squaring Uranus. And they're the same degree, but they're not at the exact same minute. So in astrology, there are 60 minutes in each degree. And Pluto's at 14 degrees 55 minutes. And Uranus is at 14 degrees 18 minutes. So they're not exactly at the same spot, but they will be March 16th. And so as we get closer to that date, it's going to be feeling more and more intense. Now, they are at the same degree, so you probably already feel it. And those of you who are much more sensitive, who tune into the energies, will be feeling it ahead of schedule. I know I always get whatever aspects are in the sky, I always feel them about a week, 5 days to 7 days. And, this is no different. I'm feeling this one already. And it just means that, like, whatever you're trying to do, especially when Mars conjuncts Uranus, it's absolutely going to be like, I'm going to do my own thing, and you can't tell me what to do. And Pluto in Capricorn is going to say, but that doesn't work because you have to follow the rules, and these are the rules, and we're making up the rules, and we have more rules. And Mars conjunct Uranus is going to say, but I don't need no stinking rules. And let's see, so Mars will be right there on the 20th of April. And, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. See, I'm always doing that too. I'm always like, did I say that right? No, I didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. And then interestingly, right at the beginning of May, Jupiter is going to be trining Uranus in fire. And let me tell you, I am so looking forward to Jupiter turning direct, which happens between the 7th and 8th of April. And so that fire energy is really coming in right now. And it's interesting because it seems like there are more fires / explosions happening. And at the same time, the weather is rainy, it's overcast, it can be windy, you've got the whole gamut. And that's all that Pisces / Aries energy going on. And then we have Saturn in fire and Neptune in Pisces. And so it's kind of a mixed bag of stuff, but it isn't a lot of, it's like the snow is not happening necessarily, like things that are associated with the ground, like snow lasting on the ground. Pluto in Capricorn definitely rules that, but it seems like with all the Aries energy and stronger fire, and then just some more of the water, the Earth energy is not really represented really strongly other than with Pluto right now. So we're not getting as much of that coming through and staying, unless you live in Boston. But I'd love to do it. I have a book upstairs on all of the cities in the U.S. I should look up Boston and see what exactly rules Boston. It's probably a water energy. And also this year they won the Super Bowl. Their team won the Super Bowl. So definitely stuff's going on in Boston right now, isn't it? Okay, so we have Jupiter at 15 degrees in conjunct Pluto. And so that's also, I mean, oh my gosh, there's just so many things going on. So Jupiter in conjunct Pluto, it's going to be discomfort and probably battles going on with that. Jupiter is really feeling like they're not connecting to people, and that's probably the least appealing thing for a Leo or Leo people who are listening is they have to connect to others. I know my son's a Leo, my dad's a Leo, and they're just not connecting somehow. It seems like they are floating out there in the universe, and they are the connectors. So if you feel that, or feel it somewhere in your life, like, oh, at work I just don't seem to fit in, maybe you have Jupiter in the 6th house. Jupiter in the 1st house, definitely feeling outcast. If it's in the 11th house, which would give you a Libra rising, or something close to Libra, maybe late degree Virgo, could also put it in the 11th house. You're feeling like you're disenfranchised, maybe from work, maybe from monetary systems associated with work, or even friendships or some type of peer group, like you're just not connecting to your peer group. So Jupiter definitely retrograde is really uncomfortable. And then Pluto, of course, Pluto's in Capricorn, which is career. So there is this shift going on, this wanting to change, wanting to move to the next level, and really looking at the overall holistic zodiac. It seems like right now we've got this really strong intention of going to the next level, and planetary influences are saying, yeah, you might want to do that, but you've got to pay attention to me. So today as I speak, the moon is opposite Saturn. It's just passed, thankfully, but he is opposite, or Saturn's opposite the moon. And we've got Jupiter within 5 degrees of opposition to Mercury. We have Sun-Neptune conjunction squaring the moon. We have Saturn squaring Neptune and the Sun. So we've got this trine going on, T-square going on with the moon, Saturn, and Neptune conjunct the Sun. We have Uranus squaring Pluto, of course, and let's see, did that cover everything? And then I think there's also some energy with, nope, that was Saturn squaring Neptune. So if you're a Virgo or a Gemini, you're also feeling this. The energies are in opposition and square to you today. So it seems like there isn't anybody who is without some issue going on right now, because somewhere in the chart you've got a planet squaring you. So that being said, we're going to move on to talking about Virgo. Okay, so Virgo is the ruler of the 6th section of the zodiac, the 6th house. And it rules medical endeavors, the medical. So, and here he is again, my friendly Wednesday ice cream truck going by. You probably can't hear it like I can, but there it is. So I have to point it out because it kind of interrupts me a little bit. All right. So Virgo, again, Virgo, 6th sign of the zodiac, 6th house. It rules medical things. It rules work, communication. It also thought, but it's things that are brought into the tangible because it is an earth sign. It rules the intestines in the body. So people who are influenced by Virgo usually hold stress in their gut, in their intestines, and they can be a little bit more high-strung. The energy of a Mercury, which is the ruler of Virgo, is an electrical energy, and I've said this before, in Gemini, it's an air energy. So it's up in the air. It's like lightning going through the clouds, and just thoughts and ideas, concepts. Virgo brings thought down to the tangible. So they're logical in a way that is seen. So if you can see it from A to B, then you know it equals C. They're very much about the tangibles. They're about paper. I just had this discussion with someone I know who is also a Virgo today. They at work changed over to a data system, a paperless system, and I was saying no, because paper does not make mistakes, or unless the person writing on it does, of course. But if you have your bills online and it's paperless, if they have glitches in their system or are hacked, like a credit card company, and they say, well, you owe us X amount of dollars, and you say, no, that's not right, I paid that, but we have no record of it because we were hacked or whatever, you have the record if you've got a piece of paper. So this was the discussion I had, but it's such a Virgo thing because earth signs need the tangible. And, it's interesting because, the argument was, what about all the trees that, you're killing? Well, yes, that's true. They are cutting down trees for paper, but there are industries that grow trees for paper, and the trees also contribute to filtering our oxygen. So I don't necessarily see that as a valid argument. Anyway, I digress. So Virgos can be really analytical, as you see. We can also be tangential, and I say we because I'm a Virgo. And we're very much into the minutia and the meticulous, and yet we're very sincere. And Virgos also are really good at parenting because they are considerate of the whole picture, or at least that's my impression of it. I could be biased, but I think Virgos tend to be really considerate of their children. So it rules medical industry, of course, and also education. Nurses, if you're in the teaching profession, I wouldn't be surprised to find Virgos as librarians because they also have Libra in the second house, which is the tangible, like energy, the Virgo being the first and the next one is Libra. But Virgos like that materiality of the spoken word or of the word. So they like books. And, they're probably really good editors too because they can be a bit uptight about the language of words and spelling, things like that. Trying to think if that's everything I wanted to say about Virgo. They're really affected by Mercury retrograde, and I don't necessarily think that it's any particular sign. If Mercury goes retrograde along with Gemini, then both signs feel it. So let's see. And the other thing I wanted to say today, this is not Virgo. Virgo is wrapped up unless we have questions from the callers. But the retrogrades this year are all in air sign. So look to having a lot of the air energy, the electronics, the appliances, relationships, which I believe is the third retrograde coming up in September. I think the third week of September, Mercury retrogrades in Libra. So that one will be about relationships and communication amongst partners. So the next one coming up, and I can't believe it's coming again so quickly, but that's the way it is May. And May it will be in Gemini. So it'll be about communication, miscommunication. So it's a full year of electronics and communications. But I want to give you the call-in phone number, which is 347-994-3365. And I don't give that out very much because I usually have quite a few callers. But today we have some openings. So if you're interested in getting a reading, call in. And we do have a few. So there are a few in line, but not as many as normal. So let's go to the callers. 828, are you there?
Hi, Shelley. It's Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. What's going on?
Hey. Not much. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. Pretty well. Yep, just hanging out, giving readings.
Right, and moving.
And moving. Well, thankfully, I'm a little bit more settled. Pardon me?
And unpacking.
Oh, constantly, yes. So what can I do for you today?
Do you have my chart? Do you remember?
I do. Yeah. June 13th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're my little Gemini.
Yes. Okay, back in 2007, I had gotten half my teeth needed fillings, and I wasn't aware that they put mercury in these amalgam fillings.
Oh no.
And I've been tested. I have mercury poisoning, aluminum poisoning,
Oh my gosh.
copper and uranium.
Oh no.
So, and that's what came out in my hair analysis. And I took a chance last year, and I got 4 of them drilled out, 4 of the fillings drilled out without going to one of those biological dentists that has all that special equipment like a vacuum and all this kind of stuff. Because if they drilled in the mercury, it has a potential of like getting in my lungs and my brain. There's women that have like lost their hair, their joints have rotted out.
Oh my gosh.
And, yeah. So it was kind of risky that I got those out, and I got a new dentist, and I told him that they were bothering me, and I told him that so he would take them out, and my insurance would cover them because I don't have thousands of dollars to go get them replaced by one of those other dentists. And I was wanting to know he was only going to take 2 or 3 out at a time. And do you see in my chart anywhere where it could possibly cause any problems because if you inhale that stuff in your sinuses, like I said, in your lungs and your brain, it can cause some very bad reactions. And I've got like a laundry list of health problems from all these heavy metals and from the mercury.
Well, it's interesting that you say this because you have Capricorn and Aquarius in the house of medical issues. And Mercury's in Aquarius, which is the lungs and the air. I mean, it's an air sign. Right. I know it sounds strange, it's Aquarius, but it is an air sign. And so it is about the respiratory. And interestingly, Mercury is the planet, and you're telling me about Mercury in your fillings, which is Capricorn energy. Early on, Pluto just went into Capricorn there. In your house of health issues. So it's really interesting that you're taking care of it now, but I would, if you're going to get it done, I would honestly wait until Mercury gets into the next house or / Pisces. Because, if you're talking about respiration and Mercury there, yes, it is direct now. So if you have to do it, I would wait till it clears the shadow. Let me just double check when the shadow was from the retrograde. So it retrograded back to 128. And he needs to get back to, 1703 of Aquarius. So that happens March 4th. He clears the shadow.
Because I'm going in for the first one at March 16th.
Okay, good. Because I personally don't want him that close to Vesta. Vesta's an asteroid, and I just find Vesta can be emotionally draining and, at times taking, not a happy energy. Let's put it that way. Like, how do I explain Vesta? Vesta can hurt you at times, okay? And that's the best way I can explain it. I know some about the asteroids, but honestly, I haven't studied as much as I want to. But I know Vesta is one I want to avoid. I want you to avoid. So Vesta's at 14 right now, and that's about the same degree Mercury needs to get out of the house of health. And then also with Mercury up there and past Vesta, you've got the clear energy, like the ability to move forward and know all the issues, and it's in the sign of partnership for you, which you want with the situation with your dentist. You want them to act on your behalf because that house would be representing your dentist. And right now Mercury would be in the 12th house of the person who would be working on you, which is hidden. You don't want that. Okay?
Right.
So you want that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I forgot what I was saying. It's okay. Go ahead.
Because I didn't mention to this dentist about Mercury because I wanted my insurance to cover this. And these dentists are just drilling this stuff out with no protection or anything. And I know, like I said, I'm putting myself at risk for doing it without the machines. But that cost me like probably $4,000 to $10,000.
Wow.
So
well,
you don't see any health issues coming from doing it without the equipment?
When did you have it done already?
Last year, I had 4 of them taken out and replaced with the composite, that white filling.
Mhm. Not knowing what time, do you remember off the top of your head when?
When I had them done.
Yeah, like a date,
no.
so I can look at the planets.
No.
Yeah, not knowing what that was, I would have to let me look and see. I mean, right now we have Mercury in Aquarius in the health house, and of course, there's an indicator from doing it in the moment the question was asked. So I will look at that. I'm not crazy about it, but let me see what else is squaring. Jupiter's retrograde and opposition.
Yeah, because I've got like intestinal, I got like digestive issues, I got like pain, there's chronic fatigue, irritable bowels, leaky gut, food allergies. I've got a laundry list of things that are going on because of all this.
And I have to tell you, Aquarius rules chemicals too, and obviously uranium. So it's radiation and chemicals. So, it does rule that. That's another thing. Like, that's why I don't like him being so close to Vesta. So if you can wait to get it continued until, after he passes Vesta, which will be the 3rd. The 3rd of March. So you're doing the 16th. That's better. That would be better in my opinion. This is a kind of question I would rather do more like long. Like I like to study a chart for this kind of question because the amount the amount of research I would need to do to give you a really thorough answer I can't do in a short amount of time taking calls. So I can only eyeball it for you, and right now the Mercury in Aquarius is like the most striking thing to me that stands out, that is there, so it's obvious that there are issues with that. Sun is conjunct Neptune. Of course, Neptune in Pisces and Sun in Pisces can also mean things that are hidden. So, you said March 16th, it's getting close. That's kind of, when you get to the end degrees of a sign, of course, that's, not much will come from it. So, that's always been kind of a sticking point for me when they say nothing will come from it. Like, does that mean if you want something to come from it, nothing will come from it, or you don't want, they'll do it, but it won't do what it was supposed to do, or they'll do it and it will be fine because there won't be any issues, which is how I take it. I usually take it in that vein. But, the day you're telling me Pisces is going to be almost ready to go into Aries. So personally, I would say, okay, you can do it and, nothing's going to become an issue from it. And that would be the preference, correct?
Right, yeah, because it can cause me to, literally almost die.
And then, now that you put it
I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah, see, the Sun would be at end degrees of Pisces, which is that point of death in rebirth. I mean, to me, this is symbology of astrology. The end degrees of Sun going at the end degrees of Pisces in the house of death and rebirth. So it could also be symbolic of, your shifting, and it's the Sun is the ego. The ego is in the head, as opposed to the spirit's in the heart. But the ego up in the head, and Mars is there right now. Let me see where Mars is going to be. Mars will be in that house, and I get these questions too a lot. I get dental questions, and I really should probably research the dental side of it more because it makes me uncomfortable, honestly. Mars will be out of there. That's good. I don't want Mars in that house. So Mars will be out of your 8th house by the time you have this done. So I think that it's going to be kind of like, just you're going to be under, right?
No.
Oh,
They're just drilling them out, replacing fillings.
Really? How many do you have to do?
9. But they're going to do two or three at a time, and I'll go back like a few weeks later, and then.
Okay. Well,
so do you say, real quick, so I don't take much more of your time, do you see, like with the uranium and all these heavy metals, do you see me being able to in the future and currently being able to detox and get all this stuff out of my body?
Well, yeah, Pluto's going to make sure that happens. Pluto's going through, and it's about the body, the physical body, and it's in that house. So it's, it's basically trying to get rid of what's hidden. So, the fact that you're doing this, and it's interesting that you're telling me after Mercury went retrograde in Aquarius that you probably were thinking about it for a long time, may have even had some issues with it while Mercury was retrograde.
Okay, Shelley, I'm sorry, but I got to go, and thank you.
No, that's okay. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, so anyway, I'll finish my thought, though. So Mercury retrograde in the House of Health brings up issues around joints, around obviously the chemicals, or even mental health, but I don't by any stretch want to say that Aquarian energy means that you have mental health. It just is one of the things that Aquarius can rule, because Aquarius is that energy of quick thinking and lots of information coming through, and when Aquarius is acted upon that quickly and other people don't understand the processes, it can very much look like mental health issues. So that's why I say that. Anyway, yeah, uranium is nothing to mess with. And Danielle, if you're listening to this in archive, definitely look into some things. And gee, if you email me, I've got some information I want to give you about that too. And you can get me at Shelley at astrologerangel.com. That's SHELLEY at astrologerangel.com. So I'm going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back in about a minute and a few. In these days of stress, running around, responsibilities, we all need a little place to go to make it all better. Is that place sports, football, or maybe you like to garden, paint, or just listen to music? Wherever your happy place is, you can find a shirt or mug to reflect that happy place. At myhappyplace.rocks, we have a variety of lifestyle products, including iPhone cases, pajamas, and pet items, all with beautiful, colorful designs, which help us go to our happy place. Stop by on the web for great gift ideas for others and yourself. myhappyplace.rocks. Lenny Pickett appears courtesy of Random Act Records. Check them out at randomactrecords.com. And welcome back. You're listening to the AstroEnergy Show with Shelley Overton on Blog Talk Radio. So, if you would like to have a reading on air, you can call 347-994-3365. If you'd like to get a hold of me for a full reading, you can do that too at astrologerangel.com and check out my new website. I redid it and it looks so cute. I'm very excited. I am energized and anxious to share it with you. So there is a readings, I think is what I put, readings button right there on the front page, or you can email me about times to set up a reading. So let's get back to our callers. 901, hi, who is this?
Hi, Shelley, this is Lenise. How are you?
I'm good. Long time no talk.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
I've been trying to get in for the past couple of weeks, but hadn't been able to get in.
Oh, yeah. It gets busy, doesn't it?
Yeah. My birthday is July 5th, 1963.
Oh, I've got you. 1963.
Okay. I just want to know what trances are going through, and seems like my money has been funny since the end of the year. It's up and down, and I was just wondering about health concerns and money. Emotional, nervous tension type of health.
Yes, yes. Well, I think a lot of that is coming from Jupiter retrograde. And for you, Jupiter retrograde falls in your house of money from career, which is the 11th house. And so it was probably feeling like, oh, wow, things are opening up. I'm getting excited. It's creative. We're moving forward. And then he went retrograde around the end of last year. And slowly it's been kind of pulling in a little bit. And a lot of it has to do with our sense of connectedness and our sense of value. Okay? And I hate to say Saturn retrograding back into Scorpio is probably going to trigger some of those anxieties a little bit for you. But when Jupiter goes direct April 20th, it's going to be wonderful. And I think it's going to really have you feeling a lot more cheerful and connected at that point, because as soon as he goes direct, like within a couple of days, he will be going into your house of the subconscious, and that will bring in the energy of the sun and kind of light it up and make you feel a little bit more at home again. And, I want to say youthful, because that's the energy that Leo brings to the 12th house, is that kind of youthfulness of mind. But also it's a story. It's about the story. So that's what I want to tell you right now, because for work and for money, it's about the story. And Sun conjunct Neptune is about the story from the past, the karma. And Sun's going from Neptune at 7, and then he's going to go to 14 degrees of Pisces, and then he'll be right on your Chiron. So there's something that has hurt you in the past, like emotionally. There's some Achilles heel, so to speak, a wounding that you got from picking up someone else's energy, okay? And, maybe not having the boundaries, because the Pisces energy has no boundaries. Typically, it's, very much blended with the universal. So that Chiron is going to get triggered here. And what's going to happen, because it's the sun, is the light is going to be shown on it. And it's really interesting because you have a Chiron return, or you just went through a Chiron return. Chiron in the sky is at 16 right now. So when the sun, and this is what I want to say, Venus and Mars had just gone through Pisces, so they triggered this wounding, this it's a wounding of faith or intuition or connectedness on a nonverbal level to your job and to what you're doing, and it's a karmic thing. So what the sun does is he goes over Neptune at 7 degrees, and he gets infused with this energy, with this psychic knowingness, and he kind of shines his light there. So it's kind of like making it more pronounced. And then he brings the light from Neptune to Chiron, and then he also imbues his light upon the wounding. So you might be able to see it, and I just got chills with that, see it in another light, so that you're not stuck as much in that anymore. And then what happens is he'll take the light from your natal Chiron 2 more degrees, cross the cusp out of your house of work, and go into partnership and touch Chiron there, and then shine the light on the next phase of that and how you can really move forward and actually connect to someone else. I think after the sun goes past Chiron, it's going to be a lot freer for you. And I think you should connect with someone coming up here. You've got Mars, Venus, and Uranus transiting your house of partnership, and they go right into the house of joint finances after that. And Uranus is very close to Jupiter, which is a planet of fortune in your natal chart, and he is in trine to Jupiter right now. So when Jupiter goes direct, he's going to be trining your natal Jupiter, and that's going to be a lot of positive energy towards really making the money come in. So, and then you're also looking towards this year, Pluto's dabbling on your cusp of getting out of home and family and getting into the house of creativity and children, which is also your Leo house. So let's see how long before Pluto gets to that. So March, actually I take it back. He retrogrades at the end of March, so that doesn't work. Hang on. Might be the end of the year. Yeah, it's going to be early next year. But when he gets into that next house early next year, 16 degrees is what you're looking for, he's going to really shift things from kind of the old bogged down energy of like, this is the way I've always done it, this is how it has to be done. And then he'll get a little more creative. He's going to bring in some of the energy you've had from past lives and your karmic energy of creativity and, connectedness to others. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity in the next year, not even just next year, but like all throughout this year, especially after April 20th, for connecting to other people and really feeling much more happy. And then when Jupiter gets into Virgo at the around September, that's going to be a lot of work coming your way. Okay, so it's coming. It's there. And part of it is you have to sell yourself. Mars in Aries, Venus in Aries, Uranus in Aries is about selling yourself. And that's what you have to learn to do. So
okay.
Hope that
I'm
helps.
starting to put myself out there now and change. And does this sound
Market.
like a relationship coming in as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the only thing I would say about that is when Mars gets to 14, he'll be on Uranus, which is a very strong sexual attraction. And then Uranus can also be detached. So it's probably more the energy at that point, the energy of, I really just want to be with you in a sexual way. So if that's not what you're looking for, just be on the lookout for the person who will come across that way. He'll be very attractive to you, but it is very much about sexuality and probably not staying power. Or I would say not staying power, okay?
And when will that be? When should I look out for that? Because I want to really leave that where it is.
Yeah, actually it's coming up between the 8th and the 14th of March. Okay, so I mean, you could probably be feeling it now anyway because Venus is conjunct Mars. So there's nothing wrong with sex and sexual energy, if that's what you want and that's where you want to go with it. There could be an attraction on your part as well, but I'm just telling you that it's likely not going to be a stable connection for you. It's going to be something this is what happens when Uranus is involved. Wow, this person is amazing. He's like, everything I want. And then Mars goes a few degrees farther and it's like he either disappears or you're like, what was I thinking? That wasn't at all what I needed. So that's kind of what happens.
So when will the more stable energy come in for that?
Well, once he gets past that 14 degrees, so right after, like mid-March, literally, and I'm telling you, too, the Ides of March is going to be intense, okay? It's the 15th of March, and Mars will be right on Uranus, and Uranus will be squaring Pluto to the exact degree, at the very last degree of your house of marriage and partnership. So this is a big shift for you and how you look at what you want in a partner, and immediately after, I'm not even kidding, this is like a moment where things just go pop, and they shift, okay? I don't even know how to tell you how significant that time is, in my opinion. March 15th, March 16th, because it is the last time Uranus and Pluto meet up in square anyway for another, let me think, 50 years. They're going to be opposing each other, but they're not going to square, so we really don't have to worry about it in our lifetimes. So it's very significant. It's kind of like the battle that's been going on between autonomy and authority is going to break. It's like, okay, finally, with Mars and Uranus conjunct right there in your chart, it's like, okay, now I can let that old stuff go. I can finally break the chains, and now I'm moving on to the future. And so right after that, when Mars gets past Uranus and Pluto is now not going to be in exact square, Mars goes on your Jupiter in the house of commitment, and that's really good. So there will be a commitment. So if someone comes in that you're very attracted to, you might immediately after go, well, this is great, and now I want to commit, or he may want to commit. Call me if that's the case, because I want to look at what's going on, okay? Because Mars will say
after March 15th.
It's right, yeah. The exact square is March 16th, And Mars gets on Uranus for you, I think I said March 15th, so it's literally all bing, bing, bing. Hang on a second. I'm in the wrong month. Okay. Yeah, so the 11th of March, Mars is at 14, so he's right on Uranus that day on the 11th, and then Uranus squares Pluto on the 16th. But so he needs to get to 17 degrees, Mars does, which is 15th. So March 15th is the day, so the day before the exact square is the day Mars is on Jupiter, and that's transition. So there probably is going to be something coming in for you. I wouldn't be surprised if you either get an opportunity with someone else to do some marketing or to do some kind of identity issue or some legal issue, anything that relates to Jupiter, which is education, travel, Aries, which is taking action, marketing, sales, and it can be the police too, and that's a legal area, so just be careful around that time as well about legalities. And then also joint finances and inheritance. So there could be something going on right then, some kind of transition and some kind of money coming in. But it also has to do with sales. So there might be an joint item that comes up, and without having the time to get into other symbology around who and what, that's what I see as far as that specific transit for you. So right around the middle of March, and I'm going to tell you, everyone is going to go through something in the middle of March. It's going to be very big astrologically, okay?
Okay, I'm going to write all that down. Is anything jumping out around health right through in here?
Well, for you, it's about possibly the feet, because it's your house of health. Well, there's Saturn is in Aquarius, so there again, it's air energy and it's water energy and it's feet, and it can be ankles, because it's also joints. So Aquarius is joints, but Neptune and the Sun are about feet, and yeah, that's a strong energy I'm picking up there. Feet or legs. So anything from the waist down.
My right thumb is stuck.
Well,
I can hardly bend it.
Joints. Yeah, the Aquarius energy is joints. Saturn, you have Saturn in Aquarius, which is joints and skeletal structure, and I can tell you this Uranus-Pluto square is affecting my joints very strongly, like my bones and my joints. I can feel it every day. I feel pain somewhere in my bones and joints. So,
wow, I'll be glad when that passes.
Yeah.
So I'm out of my Chiron return. Is that true? I'm out of the Chiron return.
Yes, because Chiron
now I'm in a
2 degrees
Aquarius
faster.
return. Because my Saturn is in Aquarius, so that means I'm having
No, let me see what you've got here. No, I think now everything is mostly just aspects to your natal planets. You've got Jupiter will be on top of Uranus and Pluto and Mars for you in the next coming year after September. So he's going to trigger all of that Virgo energy up there. And as far as health, that could trigger something, but Jupiter rules the legs and Uranus is the joints again. So I'm thinking everything here to me looks like something related to the legs.
Okay.
Yeah, and probably water retention for you as well. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so
right.
So take some potassium and, make sure that all your body systems are working well.
And I'm on a health kick now again. I'm taking magnesium, alkaline water, trying to stay away from sugar, which is a challenge.
Yep.
But
same here.
I'm just kind of concerned about my health right now. That kind of pops up every now and then. I guess to try to do everything right.
Aquarius. Yeah, the Aquarius, again, it's about joints and it's about the chemistry of your body. So if you pay attention, like you said, to your alkalinity, I think that's a huge thing. Is just watch that alkalinity. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Shelley.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for the call. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty, let's take 206. Hi, 206. How are you and who is this?
Hi, Shelley. My name is Hollis.
Hollis, have you called before?
No, I haven't.
That's not totally true.
Really?
January 9th?
Oh, yes, I have
I
been.
gave you
It must
one.
have been a while ago.
Yeah, it must have been a
Yeah.
while. Well, that's cool. I love having repeat callers. So tell me what I can do for you today.
Well, I'm just looking at the next couple months in my chart, wondering when I'm going to get my groove on. I've been kind of just not moving very fast. Little bit blocked.
Yeah, Neptune, Pisces. That's what it is. I'm not kidding. It is, and for you, it falls into your house of, money from career. It's the 11th house, and it's other people, transpersonal relationships, which is your soul group and people that you connect to that relate to your life purpose, organizations you belong to.
Mm-hmm.
Sun is on your Venus within 1 degree right now, and yesterday, and Neptune is within 2 degrees, and the South Node is in Pisces for you. So you have some past life karma issues, or not issues, but when I talk about the nodes, the South Node is what we bring in from the past life that we are really familiar with. And something that, in other words, like, oh, we have no problem dealing with this because this is something that we know. And for you, you have Venus right there on your South Node in the house of money from career. So for you, it's a lot about faith when it comes to bringing in money from your career. You're just like, which is ironic personally because you have Jupiter, Sun, Saturn, and Mercury all up in Capricorn conjunct on the midheaven in your career house. Like, you have a really strong sense of duty, and Saturn is karma as well. So karmically, you are very responsible with your career, and Venus is right there in your house of money, which is faith, and you tend to bring in money probably because you're so responsible, but they're in positive aspect, and you just kind of can sit back and it'll come, and you know it's going to be there. It's like this deep sense of, like, of course, this is what it is. It's very much in the flow, but Sun and Neptune are right there on your Venus in the house of money, and the Sun just passed your Chiron, let me see, about a week ago. And so, again, lighting up that soul wounding, something about your soul group, and feeling free to do what you want to do. And is that part of the issue, do you think? You also have all the Aries in your 12th house, which imbues it with that Piscean energy as well. So even though Mars, a lot of people will be like, oh, yay, Mars and Venus are out of Pisces, and they're in Aries, yay, now we can do stuff. But for you, it's in your 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces naturally. So now they're having to go through that 12th house, energy, and that. So for you, it isn't even like you get that extra break now that everything's in Aries, because now it dives right into your 12th house. So I think that when Mars and Venus get into Taurus, it's going to be a little bit better for you. You'll be able to move on from this energy.
Yeah,
April.
I just feel like I've been like really stuck. Mm-hmm. And I am a Capricorn in so many ways, and so much Earth, and but still, I have to tell you, I've had some loss in the last year, and things have changed with my siblings, and it's just and I've cut down my full-time work to just 2 days. I'm trying to open a spiritual business myself, but I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, but that's perfect. I was looking at this going, man, what you're being directed to is that, because money from the Pisces field, which Neptune is basically saying this is what you need to do, you're following that faith, that spirit, that inner voice, and then all the Mars energy and Venus, all the planets in your 12th house are making that real for you. So that's really interesting that you said that, because I've known other people who want to have a spirit-based business, but for you, it really does speak to what's going on in your chart right now. So I understand that.
And the Capricorn thing about being responsible and working hard and blah, blah, blah.
And having a structure.
And I'm not doing that right now, and it's really hard on my head. I have a family and a husband and a daughter and a home, and I'm studying spirituality just rigorously every day and adding to my toolbox, but I'm just like, I got to get this going on. And I
Okay,
just don't
this is
feel
what
it's
I
the
want to
right
tell
time.
you. This is what I'm going to tell you. Everything does happen in its time. Number one, you've got life change at your midheaven, which is Pluto. Pluto's in your midheaven within a degree or two of Jupiter, which is right on 17 at the midheaven saying career change. Okay, so that's your career change.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto isn't there yet. It'll probably be next year for the full and complete movement, because Pluto's going to retrograde, and it's the very last degrees of getting your ducks in a row. You've got all of the Uranian energy is in your 12th house, which is going to slow you down. I mean, Uranian energy, Uranus in Aries is saying, I have to be my own boss, but it's about the subconscious, the subliminal. It's about faith, and that hasn't hit yet. Being all this Capricorn energy, 4 planets of Capricorn, you want Taurus, okay? When Mars and Venus get into Taurus, you're going to have more of the ability to make it tangible. And so what I'm seeing right now, and I got chills about this, you need to get the identity going. You need to get, the legal papers and all that, and the business plan. All of the behind-the-scenes things have to get going right now, and that's what Mars is doing for you, okay? Now, Mars is going to be in 0 degrees on April 1st, and that's when he's on, on the 5th of April is when he's in your first house. And that's when it's also going to be starting to trigger that Capricorn energy for you. So, and you have Pluto in Virgo, you have Virgo down in creativity. I understand this. You have Pluto in Virgo, and you have Jupiter in Capricorn, and Saturn in Capricorn. You have a lot of heavy-hitting planets in Earth energy. So when Mars gets to Taurus at the beginning of April, it's going to be much better for you. You're going to have money. You're going to have your mind on money. You're going to have your mind on the structure of the business, and by then, hopefully, you'll have all the behind-the-scenes ducks in a row, and then Mars will be like out of the gate, let's go, let's do it, and the money will be there. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
but you have to have the
so
faith.
much.
It's all about Pisces.
Yeah, and I do have the faith, and I'm very creative, but it's just like I just feel so weird right now.
Yeah,
I don't feel like me.
Yeah, and you know what? Pluto's going to be hitting your sun in the next few years. He's getting closer and closer to your sun, and that means that there's a shift and change in how you see yourself and what you do, because you are so closely linked to your career, and this is what Pluto's doing to you. He's saying the old ways of dealing with it are not working for you anymore, and that's what Uranus squaring Pluto on Jupiter for you is. It's like, no, you've got to shift and change. And, it is hard. It's really hard because it's Earth energy for you. And that means your physical structure is being affected. Your body's being affected because you hold everything in your body. Okay? That's what Capricorns do. They hold it in their bones.
Yeah. And then I know that my my spiritual senses are just like rising higher and higher, and I'm like, okay, I got to use it.
Yep. Okay, well, you're on the right path, and I understand that kind of strange feeling, but you got so much going on in your chart and direct hits with everything. Jupiter's going to be going over Uranus for you later this year. He'll be on Pluto at the end of this year for you, so you'll have Jupiter on Pluto. You'll have Pluto on Jupiter, and that's pretty heavy hitting, and it's a trine. If you don't change, I can't even imagine what would happen. Like, your body is primed to shift, okay?
Okay.
This is what's going on, and you're taking it in your physical body. So just, be healthy, be aware of your health, and, do stuff for you. You got to stop giving. That's an Earth energy. Don't be, what's the word? It starts with A. I want to say altruistic, but austere. Don't be austere with yourself, because that's what Virgos and